Hey guys, yeah, welcome back to the show. Sorry I haven't posted anything in like half a year, but a lot's been going on. You know, like my mom had a mini stroke and life started again at the school. So yeah, I've been busy with a lot of stuff. To be honest, I wasn't even gonna make a video, but then my buddy Trevor decided to come over and make some pizza, and I thought, hey, why don't we just record this and I'll make a video and throw it up. I just grabbed my pocket camera to do it, and yeah, I didn't have my good recording equipment or anything like that, so I apologize for the lower video quality and sound quality, and I'm not going to do all the fancy edits and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just going to make a how-to video on how to make good pizza, and I hope you enjoy it. So basically, the goal with making this video and this pizza is that, one, it's got to be easy and doable by amateurs at home, and two, it's got to be pretty cheap, and three, it's got to be more delicious than an actual pizza restaurant. And having eaten pizza around, you know, the Vancouver area, and having eaten pizza in the New York and New Jersey area, I think I've got a pretty good handle on what makes a good pizza. So I started thinking, you know, with Trevor's help, yeah, we could do this. We could easily do that on the cheap, and we could show other people how to do it too. And it's really not that difficult. So enjoy the video, folks. So we're here making Trevor's special pizza. How much flour did you put in there?
I'm gonna put in
2 bags?
1.7 kilos.
1.7 kilos of flour. All right, this is from Italy, 00 flour. It has to be this if you want the really good pizza crust. Oh, and be careful, not every 00 is created equal. I've had 00s that suck. So yeah, you gotta be careful. I'm not saying this brand is the best, but yeah. Okay, so that was 1.6 kilograms of 00 Italian flour from Italy, yo. Plus, this is actual yeast for making pizza. How much yeast are we putting in there?
For this recipe, we're going to be using 24 grams.
24 grams of yeast, give or take. You know, if you're a little off, it's no big deal. Okay, now you gotta whisk it. This is not a proper whisk. It's a whisk attachment for my stand mixer, which is over here. But yeah, it'll work. I mean, we're gonna machine whisk it later, but for the preliminary mixing the yeast with the flour, you want to do this by hand. Was there a reason for that?
I didn't want to...
Feels better? Okay, feels better is good. That's enough of a reason. I can dig it. Okay, the next step is to add water. You could do it by hand, but since we got the kneading hook, that's this thing, we'll let it knead the dough because I hate kneading dough. If you got the machine, why not use it, right? So you start this on slow speed and add water and gradually work your way up. How much water are we adding there?
We're going to add 1,100 milliliters.
1,100 milliliters, so a liter and 100 milliliters. So for any Americans watching this, what is that in Imperial? It's like a quart and a bit. No, it's
roughly
a quart and a quarter?
It's, yeah, quart and odd number of ounces.
Okay, that's good enough. You know, give or take. It's not the end of the world if you don't have it exactly right. Okay, we just keep letting it knead away. Looks like it's smoking, but hey, that's normal. I'm so happy I don't have to do this by hand. Okay, now we're putting in salt, and it's to the tune of 34 grams, which is like an ounce, right? If you're American, it's an ounce, but if you're like standard, it's
I think it's a little more than an ounce.
Is it? Oh, an ounce is like 28, right? So yeah, 28 and a smidge.
We're just gonna turn it up.
You can see it's already looking dough-like. And let me tell you, if you've ever kneaded bread dough by hand, this is taking away so much work. Whoa, it's gonna fall off. That's okay, we caught it in time. Not the end of the world. Not the end of the world. That's what it looks like when your dough hook is working away and kneading your dough for you.
And it'll take about 7 to 8 minutes.
You heard the man. Just for those who are curious, if you use a machine like this, you can over knead it. So yeah, I wouldn't go longer than 7 or 8 minutes, but if you're doing it by hand, no, there's no danger of that whatsoever. Yeah, you can really see it's turning into dough, right? Yeah, this thing is a beast. Look at it, flung some dough out of here. As for the speed of the machine, it was on medium high, but it was flinging dough, so we turned it down.
We may have overloaded it.
Okay, so I think we might have overloaded the machine and it quit on us. So if that happens, it's not the end of the world. You can still finish it by hand. And that's what we're doing over here. So yeah, if you have to finish it by hand, just whoa. Okay.
If it's done.
Okay, how can you tell if it's done?
Well, first of all, usually the appearance, if it doesn't look smooth, definitely not done. This isn't quite done, but another good way to tell, form it into a ball, and if it loses that shape while it's just sitting, might take a little while.
Okay.
But
so the ideal is
it's getting flatter.
Okay, you want it to do that?
No, you don't want it
you
to.
won't do, okay.
Yeah.
So it's got to be
you want
kneaded.
it to stay hard to capture on camera, but
so you wanted to keep its shape, and that means it's firm enough to be. All right. So this needs a little more work done.
Yeah, this is close.
All right.
Don't get me wrong, but this is not done.
Okay. So for those of you who need to do it by hand or prefer to do it by hand, this is how you do it by hand.
Oh, I don't have the best technique in this.
That's all right.
This is a lot of dough.
I've had your pizza before. Yeah, maybe we overloaded the machine, yo. If you do this at home, don't overload the machine or you will suffer the same consequences that we're suffering now. We got greedy because we wanted to make like a bunch of pizzas. Yeah, we're almost there, actually. Getting really close to the finished product. Okay. Getting closer!
Pretty much done here.
Okay. Done! Okay, the next step is to add some olive oil.
No, we're basically just making sure that the dough doesn't
stick to the pan?
Stick to
the pot?
To the bowl.
All right.
As it sits to rise for a couple hours.
Yeah, when you make pizza like this, it's so I mean, easy compared to what you think it might be. It's really not that much trouble. Of course, it's more trouble than buying a pizza, but it's not that much more trouble.
But the trade-off in terms of what you get, unless you live next to a place that has really good pizza.
Yeah. I mean, this is as good as anything I've had in New York, honestly.
It's no comparison.
It's definitely better than anything I've had in the shop around here.
Yeah.
Like that's the downer about if you've had this kind of pizza and then you try to get one from a shop, it's gonna disappoint you.
Probably added a bit too much oil, but that's okay. Now we just gotta cover it up.
It's only calories. Not gonna get your face. Okay, while we're while we're waiting for the pizza to rise, we're having some of my homemade chuhai, which was in my other video. If you want to know how to make this, watch my summer drink video if you're over 18. All right, it's been about 20 minutes and you can see it's rising. Of course, it needs another, what, 90 minutes?
Yeah, well, it's probably, the amount of dough that we put in here is probably gonna get close to the top here.
All right, so there you go. This is in progress, yo. All right, so it's risen since the last time. How many minutes has it been? It's been 6 minutes. It's already, these yeasty beasties are going at it. They're making their carbon dioxide and they're fluffing it up. This looks good. All right, so it's been, an hour and a half, and look at how this has risen. You can see there's a total difference from before, right? This is nice and puffy.
This is why you put the oil on top of the dough.
Yes.
Look at that, no sticking.
That's full of CO2 bubbles. It's gonna be nice and fluffy and easy to make into a pie crust. Pizza pie crust. I wish you could smell the yeast coming off of this. It's gorgeous. Okay, so the next step is to cut it up and flatten it. So, yeah, we're spreading the flour on so it doesn't stick to the pie sheet. Or no, what do you call that? It's not a pie sheet. It's a pastry sheet. Yeah. So that's gonna go on to there. Whee!
And again, that's
look
why you
at
oil
that. Yeah, if you don't oil it, it's gonna be sticky everywhere.
So we're gonna want to cut this up, but we do not want to use a knife. We learned that the hard way last time. We're not gonna make that mistake again.
For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, is this is my pastry sheet, and the last time we did this, a knife went onto it, and
this is why they call it a cutting board.
Oh, we don't have to use that one. Oh, okay, yeah, sure, you can do it that way. See, it's so soft and fluffy with the CO2 that you could just do it with a piece of plastic like that. It's a very blunt edge. You don't need a sharp edge for this.
Nope.
And we've split it in 50%, and then we'll split it in 25%. Looks like a couple of butts.
Those yellow ones, not mine.
PG-13, yeah.
And look at that.
Each one of these is worth a pizza, right?
In theory.
Yeah. Lovely, lovely, lovely. All we got to do is flatten this out and then dress it and bake it.
Oh man.
So we're taking each quarter of the dough and flatten it out into a pizza pie shape.
Yeah, we want approximately. Oh, it's a little too springy. It's a little hard to work with this.
You can't go wrong.
Doppio Zero.
You just can't go wrong. It's gonna be like more delicious, 100% more delicious than anything you get in the store. I guarantee.
So this is an example of what not to do. You don't want to re-knead the dough too much. You don't want to rework it too much after it's risen, because if you're using this special type of flour, you'll notice that the gluten just really toughens up. It will not retain a shape at all. Well, no, the thing is that it won't, even if we try to shape it, try to form the crust to knuckle out, look what happens.
Okay.
It takes no time at all for it to go back to just being that. We have to let the gluten in this relax for another 10, 15 minutes.
So basically you're saying it needs more wait time.
I'm saying this one needs more wait time, and we'll move on to another one.
Good to know. Yeah. All right, so here is an example of if you don't over knead it and you don't overstress the gluten, it spreads out nicely. And that is a pizza shape.
That is the shape of a pizza, and it's retaining its shape.
Can't go wrong, man. You will not find anything this good outside of Italy or New York.
And New York, debatable. I'd say this is on par with New York easily.
Yeah.
Especially with the water that we have here. New York ain't anything.
Okay, everybody in New York's gonna get mad from hearing this, but yeah, our water's better than yours. Sorry.
We have consistently
not sorry.
the highest quality.
Yeah, we do.
In Canada.
There's no New Yorkers, you can't compete. Sorry. We went to a real Italian supermarket for this. This is from Italy, real Italian salami.
This is tasty.
It tastes good just as is. Mmm.
It's got that real cured meat flavor. It doesn't have
it does not taste like anything you can get in Canada. If you want to make the real stuff, you need this, and it's spicy and it's rich.
It's worth noting, this isn't just like Canadian or American salami, but better. This is something different.
Yeah,
this has a completely different taste. Not even really close.
It does.
Yeah.
It's its own thing, yeah. So, we're going all the way. We've got real fresh basil here. This mozzarella is actual real Italian mozzarella. It's so fluffy. The flavor is so subtle.
Really
it's nothing like what you get in the usual store. Like if you've only had the usual regular mozzarella, you have no idea what this is like. This is like a whole different thing.
It's very, very light. No salt. I cannot taste a hint of salt.
Yeah, it's just delicious. You taste the deliciousness of the milk.
It's definitely meant to complement perhaps something salty like meat.
Yeah, that's what it is. Totally, yeah.
Oh my god.
You guys, you gotta, life is short. You gotta get the good stuff. All right, so we got the real Italian
San Marzano tomatoes.
Yeah, you don't want to use regular tomatoes because, you want the best of the best, right? And yeah, it's a little more expensive, but if you want it to taste the best it can taste, you buy the best ingredients possible.
So we're gonna get these uncrushed and we're gonna crush them by hand.
All right.
But I just put this here just for brevity's sake. This is gonna be dumped into the pan soon, but not now.
There. Okay.
Not now.
So we're making the sauce now. Like you saw, we got the tomatoes uncanned here, and we're using a ton of garlic. Gotta keep it PG-13, right?
Yeah, bro.
And we're gonna use the spice and other Italian spice. But for now, yeah, you can't go wrong with a lot of garlic. If you don't like so much garlic, don't put so much in. But we love garlic.
You're gonna like it.
And if you put too much in, it's not the end of the world, right?
Now, when you're cooking garlic, putting too much in is really kind of unattainable.
Yeah, it's not gonna.
If it's raw, it's easy. If you're cooking it, it'll happen like never.
So this is the pile of garlic that I gotta chop up. You guys have seen my knife skills before in my other videos. I think, what is it, my Yum Yum sauce video. If you want to see how I chop up garlic, go look at that video. I'm gonna do that to this right now. And there you go, I chopped them all up. Voila! Want to see how I did that? Go look at any of my other videos where I chop up garlic. Alright, so I cut half of this onion and I chopped it up like so. And if you want me to see me chop up an onion the right way, go look at another one of my videos because they do it there. So you fry it up like this. We're making the sauce right now, and this is the first step. Throwing your chopped up onions into the hot olive oil.
They want them sweat them until they're translucent.
So the onions are fried up, the garlic is fried up, and now we're putting Italian spice on. The Italian spice is a combination of a lot of different herbs that's listed on the package. Sorry, I'm not going to read them one by one. It's a typical Italian spice you find in the spice aisle at the supermarket.
Mostly parsley and basil.
Yeah,
like
okay.
that.
So there you
A
go.
little bit of thyme.
Yeah.
Rosemary.
So we're gonna fry that all up, and our sauce is on the way. If you like hot chili pepper and spice like that, now's the time for it. You can see it in there, right? Yeah, there we go. Okay, now after we've been frying all this stuff, you put the tomatoes, the canned tomatoes on top of it, and you simmer it together, and it will become the tomato sauce you put on top of the pizza.
So well, we're also gonna puree it, but basically we get the onions nice and sweated out. We get the garlic fried up and nice and fragrant. Same with the spices, and then we just kind of reduce the liquid off of the tomatoes, and we're good to go.
All right, there you have it. That's how you make spaghetti sauce. No, what am I saying? That's how you make. That's how you make tomato sauce for pizza. Yeah, you can see it's on its way to becoming sauce, right? Getting closer.
How do you know if your sauce is done? Part the C's. If it doesn't immediately close back up, you're good. This one's being pureed, so we're in the clear right now. If you were not going to puree it, I'd say wait a bit longer. But notice, for the most part, it stays hardened. If there were any liquid, it would spill into this immediately.
There you go.
So we're good.
It's of a thickness that is acceptable. Next step, use the stick blender like so to blend it all so it's a nice even paste. Washed mushrooms, we're going to slice them up and stick them in the sauce too. If you wanted to fry them in the sauce, that's up to you, but we're going to put these on the pizza. I'm sure you don't need us to show you what slicing onions is like. I'm sure you don't need us to show you what slicing mushrooms is like, but here you go. Okay, as for toppings, we're going to have green peppers, avocado. I know that's not conventional, but I like it a lot, so we're having it. Mushrooms, tomato sauce, and cheese. All right, we're gonna have that cheese that I mentioned before, this basil, and the salami, which is so good. You remember this dough from before? We're just gonna put it on the pizza stone and dress it, and then we'll bake it, and it'll be done.
On the pizza peel.
Yeah, so yeah, it's not round, but whatever. It's on the pizza slider.
Well,
what do you call this thing?
Let this be a
So
lesson.
what's this thing?
This is called the pizza peel.
Yeah, the pizza peel, and
let
then,
this be a lesson to you. We left this out for 2 hours, already unstretched into the shape, and we left it in a sort of cold area. So the gluten has really just completely relaxed. You can stretch it whatever shape. It doesn't really like to stay, or it doesn't like to rebound back. And you can see, as evidence of that, is these thin parts and the ripped parts.
Yeah.
So
not the end of the world.
That's what's not supposed to happen. We took a little bit too long of a hiatus, but
Yeah.
that's what can happen.
That's what happens if you wait too long, but you know what? It's still not the end of the world.
This is called rustic. Don't worry about it.
So yeah, spread this sauce onto the crust as so. Yeah, this is the first pizza we're making. We're using store-bought shredded mozzarella for it. You know, like I said, the good stuff is for later, but whatever. If you want to use the regular stuff, it can be done. That's why I'm showing you.
We're showing you both ways.
Yes. All right. So you know, like there's mushrooms on it now on top of the cheese, and there's green peppers. You can dress it any way you want. You don't need me to tell you what you need to put on this. It's basically anything you want to put on there. Put the kitchen sink on if you want. Alright, so here we go. It's got peppers, it's got pepperoni, it's got like cheese and mushrooms and everything This is a pizza. All we gotta do is bake it. But like I said, everything you want to put on a pizza, it's really up to you. This is one set of choices. We're gonna make another one with that cheese I showed you earlier, but you know, if you just want to go with the regular ingredients, here you go. All right.
So you guys know that little tabletop that you get, that plastic tabletop that you get on top of the pizza sometimes that looks kind of like a picnic.
Oh right, like
kind of like a
Hut or whatever.
Kind of
Yeah.
like a backyard picnic table or whatever, a patio table. Well, if you want the eco-friendly and delicious version of that, you put a dough ball here.
Right there, that
Yep.
thing.
This will stop the theoretical box from theoretically
This is never
crushing
gonna see
the
a
pizza.
box.
It's never going to see a box, and to be honest, it's a little shaky on whether that would actually ever happen
It's still gonna be awesome, though.
unless you're delivering 10 pizzas at once. But
Yeah.
that's
But
the
there you
better
go.
way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's an issue for you, there you go. That's the solution. Okay, time for some straight truth. This is the part of the video where things started to screw up. Things really got sideways after this point. Because, you know, I'll straight up admit it, Trevor and I, we were not planning on making a video to begin with. All we wanted to do was just have a nice evening together and maybe drink a couple drinks and make some pizza. And it was really kind of a spur of the moment thing that I decided, oh yeah, I'm gonna film it since we're going to the trouble anyway. So, yeah. The first pizza we made was a complete failure. Yeah, so I'm gonna put our complete failures at the end of the video. So if you wanna see us screw it up, keep watching till the end. In the meantime, a few days after Trevor went home, I did the pizza thing again, and I had my friend Sam over, and it was much more presentable at that time. That's the one I'm gonna show in this video as the proper ending, just so you know, okay? There's basically 3 things that are gonna decide whether you have a good pizza or a bad pizza. One is the bread, like the crust. That's probably the biggest thing for me anyway. That's what decides whether or not I want to do this again. The crust would be one, the second would be your sauce. And in the video, you're seeing how Trevor makes his sauce. Go with any sauce you want. For me, the bread is more important. And the third is the quality of all the ingredients overall. What are your bread ingredients? Like the type of flour you're using? What are you choosing as toppings to go on top of it? If you want the best of the best pizza, you gotta get the best of the best ingredients. But it's not the end of the world if you use regular supermarket ingredients too. And it's really up to you. As for the temperature and the baking times, the very, very best, no holds barred. I don't care how much money I spend, I just have to have the best. If you want that level of pizza, we're talking like a 900-degree brick oven, and you just shove it in there for just a couple of minutes, and it cooks right the way through, and it's super crispy and everything. That's one end of the extreme, and at the lower end of the extreme, you can probably do what I do. I like to go safe. Yeah, it's not going to be maximum, but the way I do it is 375, that's Fahrenheit, for half an hour-ish, give or take. And I watch it as it's baking. So if it starts to get about the right color for me, I take it out. And like I said, that's not the best pizza you could ever have, but it's still really good, and it's harder to screw up. You know, for novices who are afraid they're gonna leave it in too long and burn it, or not put it in long enough and not have it cooked all the way through, 375 for about 20 to 30 minutes should do you just fine. Now, like I said, I'm not a pizza expert. I'd call that, you know, Trevor's territory, and that's why he kind of led tonight. But he likes to turn his oven at home up to 500 because that's the absolute maximum, and I think he puts it in there for like 6 minutes, something like that. It's all it's give and take, you know, to a point. The higher you go in temperature, the less time you can get away with sticking it in the oven, and you can just play around with whatever you like. Okay, on with the rest of the show. So this is what you call a margarita pizza. It's definitely not something you're obliged to do. This is a crust, it's tomato sauce, it's basil, it's mozzarella cheese, and your meat, which is a salami underneath. Again, you know, let your imagination roll. This is just one way of doing it. You can do it literally, it's like a sandwich. Do it any way you want. It's a done pizza. Ta-da! Yeah, this is a different night, and I made another very similar pizza, but my buddy Sam is with me tonight. Say what you just said. The
sun-dried tomatoes on this takes it from like a regular homemade pizza to eating more slices than I have room for.
See,
honestly
it's good. Thank you so much for saying that, man. I appreciate it. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed the video. It was a last minute kind of thing. And yeah, I apologize for the picture quality and the sound quality because it was done with my pocket camera. Okay, remember to like and subscribe, and more content on the way.